You ever meet people who, when you talk to them, when you hear them talk, it's their mama talking through them, or their papa or their grandpapa, and you're like, yeah, but what do you want? Who are you?
Mhm.
Like, why does that happen? That those voices or those it's
Mhm.
there and it's talking through them instead they are them not themselves actually.
Well, the masks, our masks, it's never ourselves.
Hmm.
So it's never ourselves. So where are we going to look for those voices? Papa, mama. It's always those voices, and it can be like I was like the rebel, of course. I was like the fighter. And I said, "You are wrong. You are wrong. You are wrong." But in a way, it was part of the inner voice of my parents and part of the inner voice of my mother and of my father. It was what they didn't say about themselves.
Hmm.
This my like, so the inner voice, so the mask, the voice of the mask is always the voice of the parents. It can be the voice of the parents of their mask, what they say,
Yeah.
and it can be the part of their shadow.
Ah. Huh.
But it's never yours,
Yeah.
because that is how children, they just absorb. They just absorb.
Hmm. Oh.
And they create a voice, but out of what they hear, out of what they perceive, of and of course it's well, imagine you have that not seen child with all those emotions that is overwhelming, and it doesn't want to be overwhelmed. Okay, and then there is that mind that starts
Hmm.
creating itself. Where does it, which sentences,
Hmm.
just what it hears.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, I think our masks are not, well, are not ours. And you see, like, like, well, if my parents would come into therapy, imagine my parents coming to therapy and they would complain about their older son, which is a difficult child. Yeah? That's me. Well, it's clear that two persons who are like that, my parents are quite symbiotic, not much conflict, like, okay, then you get a child like that, like the opposite, who brings you the opposite, who brings you, I brought the anger that they couldn't process. I brought everything. So you have or the child which is completely like you, which is
Hmm.
totally local, which is a copy of one of the parents.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the child which is like, that's mostly the rebel or the outsider, which brings what the family can't see.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
that is totally unconscious.
Yeah.
Unconscious. And it's never his voice. It's always a voice of somebody else. But it's his task to do something with that voice, because he can't get rid of that voice.
Mm-hmm.
We still don't have a decent brainwasher. That would be good, the one who that's an invention of the future. If you're young, maybe like a dishwasher. Imagine a brainwasher. Wow.
Yeah.
Then the world would proceed, like, we lose so much time in therapy and
Uh,
all that shit. But imagine a brainwasher.
yeah.
Wow.